Hey, good morning. I am back again. This is how it goes with me on YouTube. I go from long periods of inactivity to sudden bursts. Well, it's mostly because I have some extra time. I guess that's been the wild card here the last several months. Just not having, well, not just the time, but the inclination, and I'm kind of back at it for a little bit anyway. Anyway, it's early here in the morning. We're getting ready for New Year's, and I have with me coffee in addition to a cup of coffee. I have the DX-440. Did a video just yesterday doing some sideband reception. This morning I thought I would just share with you a lot of what my radio listening actually sounds like when I'm not listening to my favorite local programs. I do some band scans, but let's see. Show you my log listing here. So this is what I use just to kind of keep track of what I'm hearing. And this is on a Google spreadsheet, and I will put a link to it. It's public, so you can view it if you want. It's really not all that interesting. It's for my own information. But the first column, just move something around here so I can use my other arm. The first column here is the frequency, obviously, or at least here's the frequency, and then this main column, first column, are local stations that come in really well for me here in northern New Jersey. So obviously New York stations, which are in bold, they're the ones that come booming in, and I've been devising the system where if it's just in regular phase, that means it's okay. I can receive it. If it's really light, that just kind of indicates it's very fringe during the day. And so that's my little system. And in the second column is generally everything else. DX, mostly nighttime. In fact, nighttime. DX stations. And a lot of them are very reliable. Pretty much always at night. WSM on 650 in Nashville comes in pretty well. WLW in Cincinnati comes in real strong. There's a lot of stations. Hamilton, Ontario, CHML 900 comes in very well. So a lot of those are just kind of reliable DX stations at night. But there's a lot of holes in here, obviously, either that I haven't gotten to them yet. I just haven't spent enough time to listen. Of course, when you get into these graveyard frequencies up here, it's just listening to anything at night is pretty much impossible. At least difficult, I should say, not impossible. But sometimes what I do when I'm just getting ready to play with some radio is I'll take a look at at night. I'll look at my list and find an opening and see if I can hear something new. So 860, as you can see, is blank, so I don't have anything logged there. That the fact that it's blank may mean that there is simply nothing logged there. It may mean that I have yet to really identify or hear anything. It's just a lot of mush. I'm going to start right now at 870 because that's what I got it tuned to. And I know this is, I have picked up WWL in New Orleans in the past. And as you can see, there is really nothing listenable there at all. Let's go down to 860 since that one was open too. This is, I don't think this will be open. Yeah, this is a French-speaking station, and I should take the time to look that up and figure out what it is. I can't do it. I can't do it right now. But I just, there's too much junk on my desk. I can't get to the mouse easily. Yeah, so that's 860. I want to say it's someplace in Quebec, but I don't know that for sure. Let's see, the next opening on my list would be 910. Yeah, this is good. So this is what I would spend a lot of time listening to, is this. I'm not going to subject you to a lot of that, because it's not hard to listen to. But if you're listening for something, then it gets interesting. So you kind of get past the fact that it is there's nothing coming in strong, and the fact that it's somewhat annoying audio, which it is. But you suspend that for a few moments, and you start listening for things. Now I can hear, obviously, music there. It sounds like Spanish to me. But there's something else there. If I hung out here long enough, I hear some talking deep down, and I'm not going to leave it on because that's just going to get too annoying. But I'll come back in here in a minute or two and see if there's anything there or anything clearer. But if you listen to it long enough, you start to hear different levels, different layers of sound. You'll hear music, you'll hear voices, maybe two sets of voices, and the part of the hobby that I have grown in appreciation for is just that, just listening, just trying to hear different sounds. I mean, when you think about, for me, the magic of radio is the fact that this stuff is swirling around you all the time. Step outside, and even inside for that matter, there's all manner of things that are swirling past you and through you, of energy, and radios are just devices to kind of tap into that, and it's incredible. It really is. Radio technology is incredible, and it's a shame that I don't know if it's a big shame, but we've kind of forgotten the magic of that, and we've forgotten how incredible it is that we can send we can send sounds and information and voices through the air. And that is kind of an observation which is 100 years old, really, but still never ceases to amaze me. And that we can tune into these things, and so my little corner, my very small corner of the radio hobby is listening to that and trying to figure out what those things are. And I know DX is fun, and to be honest, I've been trying to let's see, in terms of, if you guys are into DX radio, anything, and you're kind of concerned, you're trying to find the most distant station or whatever. And I don't really have that much here. I think maybe 1040 WHO in Des Moines might be about the farthest one I found. It's not that. I mean, that's not. Nobody's going to be overly impressed with that. But it's kind of my personal best. You know what? I'm going to have to look on the map. Is New Orleans? I have written down here 1,150 miles. And I'm not sure. That's just kind of a random note here on the side. I think that might belong to the New Orleans question. How far New Orleans is. And I just don't have a map handy. Boy, I am really not doing very well this morning. I can't tell you if New Orleans is further from New Jersey than Des Moines, but to be assured, when this video is over, I'll look it up. Yeah, I spend an awful lot of time just listening to stuff that's not that far away. But for my own edification and enjoyment, I try to figure out what I'm listening to. So let's turn back to. Okay. I am going to. I'm going to figure out what that is, and it's probably not that far away. Okay, then I would just go to, so I'm doing this very old, okay, I decided to move over to my pattern maps, which I'll link to in the bottom as well. And this shows me at night, at daytime and nighttime, the radio patterns of various frequencies. So this is 910. Sorry if that's doing funky things on your screen. Anyway, that could be could be more, but one of three. It's probably WRKL in New York, but it could be a Philadelphia station. WSBA. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read that. So, anyway, that's me this morning, and just listening to a bunch of nothing on the radio, and thought I'd share it with you this morning. I hope you have a beautiful new year. I don't know if I don't think I'll be able to make a video again for a while. We're traveling, so we'll be out of town that's the Royal Radio We, right? The hams use it all the time. We, meaning myself and my family, will be away, so we'll certainly get back to it in the new year. But anyway, happy radio listening, and thanks for joining me this morning. And we'll see you soon.